Okay, if you're a dog person, you know this moment. You're out on a nice walk, everything's great, and then suddenly, your dog is just joyfully rolling around in something absolutely, positively disgusting. So what is going on there? Why are they so obsessed with the stinkiest things they can find? Well, let's sniff out the answer.
All right, so here's the game plan for this little investigation. And all our intel comes from the experts over at Dogzilla magazine. First, we're going to explore the incredible science behind your dog's superpower snout. Then, we'll dig into their ancient instincts to really solve this stinky mystery. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with some super helpful tips for you, the owner.
So let's start with the star of the show, right? The dog's nose. I mean, it's way more than just a cute, wet thing they use to find treats. It is a seriously high-tech piece of equipment, a true biological marvel that opens up this whole world that honestly, we can't even imagine. Okay, so if you could look inside that nose, you'd find this powerful scent engine. Two key parts are doing all the work. You've got these things called nasal turbinates. It's like a crazy maze of tissue that grabs and analyzes every single scent molecule. And then there's the Jacobson's organ. Think of it as a second nose designed just for detecting chemical signals, like pheromones from other animals. It's like having two advanced radar systems running at the same time.
And this really tells the whole story of where all that scent information goes. The part of the brain that processes smell, the olfactory bulb, is just huge in dogs compared to ours. It's not just bigger, it's basically a supercomputer totally dedicated to smell, painting this incredibly detailed picture of the world that we just can't see.
So let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets really wild. A bloodhound has around 300 million scent receptors, and us humans, we've only got about 6 million. That means their sense of smell is somewhere between 10,000 to 100,000 times more powerful than ours. Just think about that for a second. They don't just smell the world, they experience it in a totally different dimension.
Okay, so we've confirmed it. Our dogs are legit superheroes of scent. Now we get to the core of our investigation, solving the great stink mystery. Why do they use these incredible powers to sniff out and roll in the grossest things imaginable?
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You see your dog zero in on some weird patch of grass and you just know what's about to happen. Why on earth do they feel the need to do that?
Well, it really boils down to these 5 main reasons. It could be a super old instinct to cover up their own scent, to hide from predators or sneak up on prey. It could also be their way of claiming territory, like wearing a stinky badge of honor to show other dogs where they've been. Sometimes it's just pure curiosity. A strong smell is like an amazing story they just have to read. And yeah, for some dogs, it just feels good, or it's something to do when they're bored.
All right, so understanding the why is super interesting, but now for the practical part. What can we, as their people, actually do about it? Let's get into some real-world tips for managing your little scent hound. Here are 5 simple but really powerful strategies. Number 1, a rock-solid leave-it command is your absolute best friend. 2, keep your dog busy. A tired, mentally stimulated dog is way less likely to get into trouble. 3, and this is a big one, when in doubt, use a leash. It's the easiest way to avoid those tempting smells. 4, if you see them getting interested in something gross, redirect their attention with a toy or a game. And finally, number 5, regular grooming can actually help reduce their urge to get a new, less pleasant perfume. You know, this quote from the article just hits the nail on the head. We might wrinkle our noses at what they roll in, but for them, it's a huge part of how they explore and communicate, and just understand their world. It really is a window into a whole other reality. So look, while we may never, ever learn to love the smell of week-old garbage on our dog's fur, hopefully understanding the why behind it helps us see it's not them being bad. It's just them being, well, a dog. It's a natural, fascinating part of who they are.
And all these amazing insights we talked about today, they come straight from an article by the award-winning Dogzilla magazine. Seriously, they do such a great job breaking down the science of our furry friends, so you should definitely check them out for more.
And that wraps up our case. So I'll leave you with this one final thought to ponder. What is the absolute weirdest, most baffling thing your dog has ever decided to roll in? Think about it. Thanks for joining me.